Well, hello again. My name's the Reverend Simon Archer. I am the priest in charge of the parish of Arbury in Castletown. I'm also known as the Isle of Man Vicar, kind of also known as the Gaming Vicar, but that's another story. But yeah, I'm here at Castletown Beach. I just thought I'd go for a quick wander. Bit beautiful, got a horse behind me. Riding on the beach, can't be much better than that. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, so I'm at Castletown Beach. I just thought I'd have a wander locally today. I'm probably going to go out and do some filming over the next day or two of some of the racing that's going on. We hope. We don't know what's going on. So we have the Southern 100. Obviously, everyone knows about the TT, but we also got the Southern 100 course, which is we have the pre-TT Classic going on over the next few days, and it's going to be amazing. Sidecars and classic motorbikes and all sorts of stuff going around this course, which is right next to Castletown. Causes all sorts of problems, but I'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, I thought, why not? I've just been to see Father Joseph from the Roman Catholic Church, drop off some candles that were delivered to me by mistake. So I popped off and had a little chat with Father Joseph. And I thought while I was out, I'd grab my bag and get on the beach, because everything's time's short at the moment. And we'll talk about that as we go. But I thought, yeah, you know, Castletown Beach, this is right on my doorstep. It's beautiful. Yeah, go further out, look. You have a look and see. It's just absolutely just wonderful, wonderful, stunning place. Sea's really good here. The water here is actually considered good. So the water quality, we've had some reports coming from earlier in the year. So it's yeah, you can swim off here if you want to. It's a bit rocky in places. The horse is going in the sea at the moment. A bit rocky in places and a lot of seaweed about, but not bad, you know. And it's kind of sandy, but it's kind of pebbly up the top, and you get a very sort of fine sand down here. But yeah, great for exploring. Loads of rock pools. Let me just take you for. I'll twist you around there. So tons further along as well, but loads of rock pools behind me here. And I thought what we'd do is we'll have a little walk along the beach. You see what it's like here. I'll take you up to is it Hango Hill, where there was a hanging. So I'll show you that. We're quite near the airport, which is why there'll be no drone flying. We've just got a plane taking off behind me now. And if we'll be able to pop that down there, you might be able to see it go behind me. I don't know. Can we see the plane go past? Don't know. Well, you can hear it anyway. But yeah, I thought we'd go for a little wander along the beach, check out Hango Hill, check a little bit of King William's College, which is a private school on the island. Took a wedding there the other day in the chapel. Beautiful place. Yeah, fantastic little spot. So we'll just go for a little a wander along the beach, so you can come and join me. So let me get this selfie stick sorted. So I've got it in my hand, and I'll get straight back to you. So let's extend this out a bit, so you've got a bit more perspective where I am. Yeah, just a beautiful sunny day. We're expecting the weather to change. So we've had quite good weather for a few weeks now. Really, not quite good, really good weather. It's been absolutely glorious. Yeah, we're expecting, unfortunately, for the weather to change this evening, about when the racing's supposed to start. So I'm really gutted for them, to be honest with you. I'm not gutted for the farmers who absolutely need the rain, and we need our reservoirs filled up a bit, because it's been a very dry couple of months. So yeah, we need the rain for all sorts of reasons. But for the people visiting for the racing, it's a bit sad, because last year was a bit of a washout as well for both Southern 100, for the pre-TT Manx Classic, and for the TT itself. So I'm hoping we get some better weather, but it looks like it's going to be a bit bad for a little while. You'll see there's not that many people on the beach. That's quite normal. Local people, I guess, we get quite used to having the beach here, and it becomes less of a novelty. I know we try and get out and get to places, and I visit places and go walk in places, and trying not to let myself get too used to it, you know. Keep enjoying the amazing place we get to live. But I can understand if you've lived here all your life, or you've lived here for many, many years, there is a degree of, it's just the beach, it's just where you live, it's just at the front. We do tend to get quite blasé about the places that we live, because we get it day in, day out, but it is a really quite pleasant beach. It sounds quite soft, I'm starting to sink. It's something recently where people were talking about how things they thought were going to be a big issue when they're older, and one of them for kids of my generation was quicksand. Because a lot of the shows that we watched, you know, if you, especially the sort of episodal stuff, where you get like a series, at some point someone would get stuck in quicksand. So we really thought quicksand would be a big issue in the future, but it's it's not. So it's quite rare. But the sand is a little soft here. But it's nice, it's beautiful. What I'll do is I'm going to switch over to the, so we can carry on talking, switch over to the, he says pressing the wrong button. We'll switch over to front facing, there we go, and we can have a, my hand won't be so wobbly. And you can see what I'm seeing. That structure up there on the hill over there is, we'll come to it, but Hango Hill, and just over, so yeah, on the right hand side, that structure there, and then you can see the top of King William's College. Going to try and keep this one a bit shorter. This is over there, the over the water is Langness, which is where I went for that walk before. I walked across the golf course by accident, and that was a nice walk, actually, really nice walk. Fancy doing that one again. I think this is the wonder of this place. I mean, I just haven't got time to get out to Ballaglass Glen or Doon Glen. Doon Glen's still partly closed. There's a couple other glens I want to try, but you know, this is basically my lunch hour. I've given myself a chance to get out and get some stretch the legs, get some exercise. So I just don't have the time at this moment in time to go out and do anything major. But I am getting closer to picking up a new two-person tent. So I think a little camping trip video with my wife would be cool. See what she thinks of it all. She's done plenty of camping before with us. We've done it as a family quite a lot. So she's not like she's not a delicate person. She's quite comfortable roughing it, and she'll get on with it and enjoy it, and loves being outside as well, so not a problem there. But yeah, you see the plane taking off. I was quite surprised actually, because someone said to me about how oh, you get disturbed by the planes, and I've lived, one point I lived with a train line behind the house. That was far noisier, and no, it's all right. It's they don't fly after a certain time anyway, so you don't get any overnight flights, so they're kind of done by 9 or 10 o'clock. I think the air traffic control closes at 10, so they can't do flights after that. And they yeah, it depends where they land and take off from. They don't always come over Castletown. And once you've been here a while, you just get used to it, so you don't even notice them. But when you do see them flying across, do you know what? I get a little bit excited for people that they're getting to either to come and visit the island. I'm wondering, a lot of people will be commuting, and people who live on the island travelling back, but there'll be some people perhaps visiting the island for the first time, and I get quite excited for them, because I remember what my first trip was like. And yeah, it's such an amazing place. You kind of, you're excited that they're going to have the same sort of experience you had, hopefully, travelling around the first time. Especially when it's like this, and you've got sunshine, and a beautiful sandy beach, and the amazing Castletown over there, with its castle in the distance, and beautiful buildings we get along the front here. Some lovely buildings. Yeah, you hope for the people arriving that might be their first time visiting the island, and they'll have just that amazing experience. And you feel quite sad for people who might be leaving after their first trip and quite disappointed to be going, we hope. And for us, there's a tiny bit of smugness where we go, we don't have to leave here. It's such a strange feeling going, this is our home, we get to live here. Because it is just ridiculously beautiful. I was chatting with Father Joseph earlier and just saying, because he worked in as a chaplain in the prisons in sort of Liverpool. And he's worked in some difficult areas. I've worked in some challenging areas and communities. And so we have a particular appreciation of the peace and the safety and the community you have here. So it's a bit special. I do have the bits for a cup of tea. I was going to bring my alcohol burner out, and I just went, no, I'm going to start using my new one a bit more as well, so I get some practice with that. So I've got my new burner and little table with me. I do have another burner as well. I've got another stove. I've been trying out some Temu stuff just for some fun. I've picked up a little almost like a Trangia style burner. Giving it a test run, it seems to work all right. So we'll give that a try. But the pot stand it came with is quite large, and it won't take my 750ml pots. So I'm going to need to think about, I'm going to have to buy some more stuff. I'm only getting cheap stuff, but I get some more pots or something, get some wider pots. It might be useful for doing some actual cooking on. Just like trying these things out, seeing what works. And I have pretty much, once I get the tent, I think I'll have everything I need for pretty much every scenario. Camp tenting? What's even that? Car camping. Or I won't actually camp in the car, but where we can park up, like we were at my previous video, which was point of air, just somewhere like that, and throw the gear out the back of the car, so you can have a lot heavier stuff and a lot more stuff with you. I really set up a nice little campsite sort of thing. So that's what we're aiming for, but we just need the weather to coincide with my wife's days off and time I've got. So hopefully get a couple of camps out over the summer with the kids. I haven't booked any holiday or anything, so really need to work on that. But we'll be fine. Let's go walk by the water. Although I don't want to disturb these poor seagulls. Oh, I love that sea air. Last weekend I had a trip well, I had two trips. So Friday I was in Liverpool with an appointment with my daughter at Alder. So my daughter has juvenile idiopathic arthritis, JIA. She's had it since she was 3. She's now 15, about to turn 16. It'll always be JIA. It doesn't suddenly change into some kind of adult arthritis, but it's a autoimmune issue, and she has weekly injections, which keep her pretty well. She had a really good visit, actually, a really good appointment. It went really well. Very happy with her at the moment. Of these little streams we've got across. Yeah. Beautiful, isn't it? I love that little swirling water around the rocks. Yeah, so appointment Friday at Alder. So I had to fly to Liverpool. That went fine, and then the weekend on Saturday. So it was Friday, Saturday. I then flew. Well, we had our like summer fair type thing. We call it a coffee morning, but it's got more to it than that. And we had our summer fair, and I had to leave that so I could get to the airport and go to London Gatwick, so I could travel across to Cambridge. I got there by the evening, and I came back on Monday from Cambridge. So I had call it a preaching engagement. Been asked to give an address at Christ's College, Cambridge, which I did. They had a theme of God sort of in gaming, God in gaming, and I was known as the gaming vicar at one point because I ended up starting a kind of ministry in online video games and streaming, which kind of took off. I'd probably still be doing it, but it's just quite time consuming, and when you're a full-time parish priest, coming out of lockdown with everything else you have to do, it just became too much for me. So understand your limitations and not burn out. I had to put something aside, and I love being a parish priest, so I had to really cut back on that. And I don't really stream anymore. I every now and again I jump on it and think, oh, I could do a little bit. And it's like, maybe one day I'll have a bit more time. But I've got the gear and the setup. I still do. Well, haven't even really been doing any gaming for a while. But you can still look at some of my old videos and stuff. I was there. So I think I'm down as Vicarious BIG. It's a Vicarious VICARIOUS BIG, because that was the name when I started. I changed it a couple of times, but I've gone back to the original name that I had as my username on Twitch. And you go into Twitch, and you can see some of the old stuff I did. You won't want to watch it for long, but it's quite good fun. And I at one point had quite a lot of followers on there, and it was almost tipping over into I could have perhaps even made a living out of it. But I started getting sponsored and doing appearances and things, but it would have taken me away from the thing that I absolutely love, which is being a parish priest. There's nothing quite like it. If you're called to it, I think there's nothing quite like it. So decided it probably wasn't the direction I wanted to go, which a lot of people probably think is madness, but nope. Yeah, so I did this, I got invited because of this background I had and this experience I had, and being on the telly and radio and stuff with this gaming ministry. They invited me to do a particular one from my perspective, an address at Evensong on Sunday. And then had this, I won't go too much into it, but just had this ridiculous experience of being at the top table at Christ College and meeting with these just amazing minds, people far, far brighter and more intelligent than I am. And you could sense the gulf. But I will say they were absolutely lovely and made me very welcome. And I wasn't looked down upon or anything like that. They were kind and welcoming. Oh, 2 herons. Beautiful. Yeah, so there wasn't anything. I felt awkward, out of place because of me, not because of them. They made me very welcome. And Helen Orchard, the chaplain there, Reverend Dr. Helen Orchard, was just a wonderful host. Left me to it pretty much, but in a good way. Let me just enjoy my time there. Yep. Oh, it's difficult, isn't it? I could walk. You start a walk like this, and I think I'll just walk up the beach a little bit, and then you just keep going because it's just there. A few people about, a few people walking dogs. Absolutely lovely. I do talk a lot, don't I? It's nice to be quiet sometimes, just listen to the sounds. Oh, honestly, you ever get the chance, come and visit the Isle of Man, please. Seriously, you will not be disappointed. Even if it's bad weather, you'll have a whale of a time. The people are just the friendliest. Come and visit. It is great. Lots of people who come here fall in love with the place. And if you're younger, and you're just perhaps you've had enough of the busyness of where you are, come and live here. It's just, I can't describe how amazing it is to kind of go, right, time for a break, pop down to the beach and walk along the beach. And most of the big towns here, apart from really, I guess, Foxtail, Foxtail is more central, but most places are by a coast somewhere. So you've got a harbour, you've got beaches, you've got everything right on your doorstep. It really is the best opportunity for work-life balance I can imagine. Smashing. Do you know, I still haven't seen the dolphins yet, or any basking sharks. Gonna have to do a boat trip to see the basking sharks, I think. And dolphins will happen at some point. My wife saw them recently. Wasn't jealous at all. Not much. That's part of the golf course here, isn't it? They must be having fun with the lack of rain at the moment. So no drone today, obviously being by the airport, so there'll be no drone footage to go with this video. That's all right, doesn't always have to be a drone flight in there. Thinking I might walk along the road on the way back to give a different perspective. See if we can find a spot to make a cuppa. I won't do a long video. My last video was masses about the stove, and when I create my clips from using AI, and basically I end up with about 20 clips, which was me using the stove, which is fine, but doesn't give a lot of variation, does it? A couple of them done quite well. Big bit of driftwood up here. This might be a good spot to sit down, make a brew. Need to get some normal coffee. I've got a caramel latte with me, so kind of didn't fancy, but I didn't have much left in the cupboard. People keep nicking on the coffees. This will work. Right, let's get the camera set up and we'll make a brew. I'm not going to. Oh, we'll film me. Hello. We'll film me setting up and everything, but I'm not going to talk through. I'm just going to chat while we do it. I'm not going to talk through every little bit of it. It gets a bit boring after a while, I know. But we'll talk about the TT and the Southern 100 and things like that, and how it affects the island, I think. Some interesting stuff that's going on and discussions that are being had. It's not the massive financial boom, at least to locals, that it used to be. So yeah, we'll have a chat about that. So let me switch this off for a moment. I'll be back as I start setting up. Right, switch that off now. Get to quite a wide angle so you can see a bit more behind me, but don't have a lot in the bag, just a little bit. We've got wind coming from kind of from out to sea. Right. First things first, comfy pad. Put that on there, make things a little bit more comfortable. Gas. My kit. Cup and coffee and water. So, excuse me while I tuck myself in. I'm not going to go on about the kit. I'll mention it's some Fire Maple gear, Fire Maple ultralight table, Optimus windshield, and the G3 Petrel G3 pot. And yeah, let's get this stuff together. It's my stove, the Green Peak stove. First thing I need to do is pop the stove through there, or the gas cylinder through there, screw the stove on. We need to work out what's best to pop it. Lovely. And try and got my little windshield on. Don't need the canister stand. Didn't put the arms up on the stove. That would help. Chuck some water in. Always put a little bit more in because I use it to wash up with. There's my lid. I'm sure I've forgotten something. I will usually have. Obviously, gas stoves are a little bit noisier than my lovely alcohol stove that I love, but I'm trying to get some use out of this and work out how well it works. Let's get my everything else will need to be ready fairly quickly because honestly, the way how quick this heats up is incredible, and I've not got it on set high. All right, let's get my mug out, my cup. One cup, one Costa Coffee salted caramel latte. I've got my spoon in my bag. So I recommend everybody who likes to get out and walk, get themselves a little brew kit put together, because there's nothing quite like I'm sitting here comfortably on the beach, having a nice walk, stop, I'll have a nice coffee, just made me stop, made me look at what's around me, enjoy the views, take in that air, that sea air, which is honestly amazing, brilliant. Got my spoon. And we're done. So this one you give it a good stir, and then you leave it for 30 seconds, and then you stir it again, apparently. Something like that. Apparently it's like 14 degrees. I don't believe it is 14 degrees at all. It feels warmer than that, but 15, 16, 17 degrees maybe. But it just doesn't feel cold at all. Quite a chilly breeze, but not bad at all. Washing up. So I was going to say about TT, so and Southern 100. So I've got challenges this weekend because of Southern 100, and that's my church is near the course, and so, or one of my churches is, and I've got a baptism there on Sunday. I'm going to have to take detours all around to get to the church to be able to take the baptism, and the family are going to be struggling to get to the church for the baptism. I think it's because it wasn't on our radar, either of our radars when we booked it. But we'll manage. We'll get there, and it'll happen. And it's great. The Southern 100 is a great thing for local businesses, actually, like shops and the pubs, particularly, as we can tell when people are walking drunk back to the campsite of an evening, which we don't mind at all because it's like a couple of nights. It doesn't matter. It's fine. So we don't get funny about that. It's all right. But there's a bit of controversy around the TT. They changed the scheduling of the TT, and they made it more about. It was basically they didn't have a day off. It's now straight through. No, like I think it was called Mad Sunday or something like that, where everyone would go on the course. But a lot of people, because there was no racing on, would go and visit local towns and go to the gift shops or the museums or whatever they wanted to do, especially if they're over with family. They'd go and do different things and they'd spend money locally, and now it's on flat out, there's no spare day. That doesn't happen. So a lot of businesses are going, well, depending on where they are, they can get completely cut off by the course because of the schedule they've got. And so they're going, well, we might as well close the business for 2 weeks because we're just not going to get any customers because they can't get to us, and nobody from who are visiting for the actual race is having a day off from racing now. So they're going to be on the course. They're not going to be spending money in local shops. So there's quite a few businesses that say, no, we're just closing for 2 weeks, no point. And it never used to be like that, apparently. I've only been here 2 years, but a lot of people saying it was much more of a festival atmosphere and lots more going on all over. I'd probably head to the grandstand one day myself and watch a bit of racing, but I'm not a massive motorcycle. I didn't come to the island to watch motorcycle racing. I'm not a petrol head. I love my car, but I'm not a speed demon or motorbike sort of person. Nothing against them, just not for me. Love the classic bikes, so I'll be enjoying this weekend in Castletown, but I'm not too fussed about TT. But I think it's a shame. They really need to look at how it can support local businesses and how it can improve, because there's too many businesses that are coming from across that are given. There's some local stuff, but a lot of businesses that come from across to do the where the grandstand is and where there's almost like a big fair going on. Too many businesses from across where there's plenty of local businesses which could do really well, but they can't afford the pitches. The money's going to the wrong places now, which means locals will slowly stop supporting it if they're not careful. and they need marshals, and they want people to come and help out, and they want people to, and the marshals are going, well, you know, we don't get a day off either now, and you give us a little welcome pack and it's not really worth anything, and but you expect us to work day in, day out marshalling the course. So I think they'll probably see less and less people marshalling, and less and less locals supporting it, and less businesses being open, which makes the whole experience worse. So they really should go back to the old schedule, I think. From what I've heard, most people agree, that I've seen almost 100%, not quite, but almost 100% of people agree that it should go back to the old schedule, where there was a break where people could go off and explore the rest of the island and spend their money elsewhere. So, yeah. It doesn't cause too much disruption for us as a community, because we're not on the course, we're outside the course. I can still travel around, I can still get to Douglas, I can still get to Port Erin and most places, so it's not causing me many problems with getting anywhere. So yeah, it's not too bad at all for me doing my job. I'm loving my new stove set, works really well. I now got lightweight kit. I need to do some cooking. It's the only thing I'm desperate to try out some cooking more. But I keep going, I've got some stuff at home, but it's warm. I don't really want anything much for lunch. I'm eating salads and things like that because it's been so nice. So it's not really cooking up some eggs or some steak or whatever, making a bacon sandwich. It's all very good for the video, but it's too warm for it. It's not what I fancy at lunchtime, so it's not all about the videos. I know Kevin, one of the people who watches the channel, was asking about how it changes in the town and things around when the TT's on and when the racing's on. And I'll definitely do some recording. I'll try and do a little bit of a recording around town when all the racing's happening and how exciting it is for the Southern 100. But just generally speaking, just to say, I mean, there's a few more camper vans about, definitely, because there's lots of places you can pretty much park up and no one bothers you as long as you don't bother anybody else and don't leave a mess. We've had a couple of people parking in town, and that has caused problems because they've been blocking streets, which is really inconsiderate when you're visiting somewhere. But most people are pretty reasonable, and we've got some camper vans parked up who are probably here for the racing. There's a few more people walking around the square. You've got a few more motorbikes about, and we say sort of foreign cars on the island, because we can tell by the registration numbers that they're not from the Isle of Man. So you see some different number plates and different cars and bikes and stuff over, but it's generally a good atmosphere. Everyone's pretty aware of motorbikes over here, and there'll always be a few people who do silly stuff. We've had a few people with trail bikes cutting up the hills where they shouldn't be riding, which is unfortunate. They shouldn't, again, respecting the place you're visiting if you're coming over to Ireland. But the police here are really tough. So if you come over here and you haven't got insurance, or you haven't got your bike or your car's not roadworthy, or you're driving recklessly, even though we have places where the speed is unregulated, so you can actually go as fast as is safe to do so. So you can go over 70 miles an hour. There's still, you still have to drive sensibly in a way in which you're not going to endanger other people. So we always get the people to get arrested, and the police here, zero tolerance. They're fantastic. They don't put up with anything. They're really good. I like it. I like the coppers over here. They get a hard time sometimes, as they do everywhere, I think, nowadays. But I like the police over here, and they do a really good job, and they bring in extra people from different places to come and work on the team whilst it's in those busy few weeks. So they'll get a bigger task force together, but they don't put up with it. So if you come over here and you try and push it, just don't expect you're going to get a warning. You could well be arrested and even spend some time in the Derby. So don't mess about. But yeah, I'll probably do a bit of a walk past the Southern 100 later, and then I'll walk into town and have a look around there. Getting lovely messages from my wife. been sent some kind of picture of the races. Road closures. I think it's because I'm taking my son. My son's got a mullet and he's getting it permed. Just about turned 15. Mullets are in. He's got a massive long mullet and he's getting it permed later. What is this world coming to? And yeah, his appointment again, where we just didn't really make the connection, is at just after 4 o'clock. And so I need to get him over to Port Erin, and we're worried that the road would be closed and I would be going the very, very long route round. But actually, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. He'll be the road apparently doesn't close until 6 o'clock, but I saw something earlier that said it closed at 4:30. So yeah, but it looks like the racing tomorrow goes on till 4:30, and then the evening racing goes from 6 p.m. till 9 p.m. So I may have got it completely wrong. But the Sunday racing is going to be the fun one. Make it hard work to get anywhere. To the baptism and to the... my daughter needs to go to the cathedral for evensong because she's in the choir. But she was just sending me... My wife was just sending me a spreadsheet of the racing times. It's not bad, this, you know. It's quite sweet. I'm not a sweet tooth, but it's all right. Time to do some washing up. Do it while it's hot water and before anything dries too much. That's the only problem with these frothy coffees, is they do make it a little bit more difficult to wash up afterwards. Got a little bit more. I'll use it up. Had a fellow priest visit me, always visiting the island. A friend of mine called Edward, Father Edward. He was visiting from Haywards Heath, I think it is right. And he's been coming over here for a little while, just as a place to visit, as a retreat. He does the walking over here, and he's caught the good weather. He went home. He's going home later today, actually. So I think he flies out just as the rain's due. Good timing. So what sort of thing would you like to see? I'm not saying I'm going to do, I'm not a puppet, so I've had some people ask me about seeing some stuff and doing some stuff, and I'm going to visit some of the places. I mean, I'm going to be probably doing this for years, so, you know, I'll get there in the end. But I mean, the camping one's done all right. The silent camp, I'd like to do a couple more camps, hopefully whilst the weather's all right. Not that I worry too much about weather. Doing that thing again where you check if something's hot by placing your hand on it. But yeah, cooking stuff. People interested in cooking? I'm quite interested. I'm a bit of a. I do all the cooking at home. So my wife does sometimes, but I generally do all the cooking and all the shopping. So I'm a bit of a quite happy to do to cook, and I'm not bad. So I'm interested in trying out stuff that isn't those dried meals. Those expensive, like £6 for a freeze-dried pasta or something. rather do something a bit more interesting. We've been having the from my camp, when I did my camp at the Tholton. We've made it since. We've made my sausage and chicken rice dish that I made there, and it was it's gone down a treat. It was chipolata sausages, and I think I've got Uncle Ben's chicken rice, which is currently on offer at Tesco's. So we are like, oh, get some of those sausages and some rice, and we'll have some of that. Again, I kind of look to see what's on offer as well, because you don't have to have the same thing all the time. Just find out what's on offer, grab it, and if you can cook it. What do I do here? That. Yeah, that's everything, isn't it? It's because it's got such a large bag, it throws me, because it feels like there's stuff missing from the bag. I would have preferred, actually, even though this all now fits in here, I still would have preferred a nice, tighter fitting sleeve to the pot. And they do like the neoprene sleeves for this, like the for the pot, and they're bought separately. I think that's a bit much. I think Fire Maple should have included that in the pot. Other pots I've got come with the insulating sleeve on them. Look at that, see? All the way. It slowed me down for a moment just to have a cuppa, catch the views, which are stunning. As always, you know I'm a fan. Lovely cup of coffee. That's it. All done. Time to head back. Let's go. So, nearly forgot my my seat pad. It fell off and I forgot. These are, that's one of those. And you wouldn't believe the amount of extra comfort you get. Only problem there is I need to put it in my pack. Apologies for the angle. Started recording and I looked back and I went, oh, because you always check back, don't you? If you're a regular sort of wild camper or anything, you always check back. As soon as you finish packing up everything, you're checking the ground for pegs that you've left, and you're checking the ground for rubbish and stuff like that. So leave no trace and all that. And there it was, my brilliant seat pad. Oh. Right. So you can see I'm just on the edge. There's a nice footpath that goes along here. Can walk all the way over to Langness from here. That's another route I'll probably do at some point, do a longer walk. And I know, apologise, I haven't done a lot of these lovely glens and things, but time, you know. If I do a half hour, 45-minute, hour video, that's all that content I've got to record, plus getting there and getting back. It'd be 2 hours out of my day, and I just don't have time for that at the moment. And I always say it, work 6 days a week. As a priest, full-time stipendiary priest, you work 6 days a week in the Church of England. So it's not always straightforward getting out to have some time off, do some recording. And sometimes that time off, like this week when I got back, I took a bit of time on Tuesday. I've had to do things like gardening and fix stuff and bits and bobs and catch up with work as well. And yeah, it's not straightforward. Right, you need to be seeing this as I walk, because this is beautiful. So I'm sure I'll be fine. I might even have a walk through King William's. There is a path that goes through there, and I'm quite I'm reasonably well known, so I'm safe walking through. This path is quite nice because it's quite sheltered. Got banks either side, so definitely less of a breeze here. Oh, got your package has been delivered message. Can't remember what I've ordered. What did I order? What did it? Can't be anything exciting. It won't be. Oh, I know about that. My lawnmower blade. There you go. Decided finally to get a new blade for my lawnmower that I've had for 7 years. Never been serviced. Oh, I have. I've done an oil change on it, and I've changed the air filters and things like that. So it's had a new spark plug and stuff. So I used a filter kit, service kit on it. So it has been serviced, kind of, but not brilliantly. As we come up here, some of the parking spots that are by Castletown Beach, and some of the motorhomes parked on here. I don't mind seeing them. I don't mind them being here. I think the island needs to provide a bit more in the way of places for them to do like toilet disposal stuff, because if you don't want any spillages and you don't want any problems, make sure there's plenty of those. But to be fair, a lot of the places around here we've got bins everywhere. So even some of the more quieter spots, I think you've seen it before again in a video. See, now, I know it's horrible to see, but look, if you're going to bag up your poo, don't then leave it in the bag on the path. I imagine either they've probably had someone see them, so they've bagged it up, and then they've dropped it after another person's gone out of sight. Or that's what they do. Why would you bag up your dog poo? If you're watching this and you're the person who's done that, honestly, you're an idiot. Don't mind saying that. I think if you bag up dog poo and then leave it in the bag on the path, there's something very wrong with you. Anybody who does that, please just stop. It's an idiotic thing to do. And I'll speak very strongly on that, because you're just ruining the environment for everyone else. Oh, I shouldn't rant, should I? It'll be on the front page of the Isle of Man newspaper now, saying local vicar brands dog mess leavers as idiots or something. Yeah, go for it. I don't mind. So lovely again today. I'm glad I got out, because this could be the last of it for about a week and a half. So to get some fresh air, get some walking in, and get some sun on my face, get some of that vitamin D. Certainly not dressed for the walking today. I've just got a pair of trainers on and my usual midweek work clothes, which is a shirt and a pair of jeans. I'll carry on walking along the path here. As I say, we might have a little walk just into the entrance of King William's, but we're not going to walk all the way through. It's quite nice to walk along the front here because you get to see some of these lovely properties along the front as well. Yes, yeah, more motorhomes. Quite a nice idea, isn't it? This is a local one with a number plate. So there's people on the island who have motorhomes to travel around the island in and be able to have kind of stop off places, which I think is quite a good idea. So we're going to go back to the road now. So this is like in front of me is the airport. The big marquee over there is probably they have events and weddings and stuff, and sometimes they celebrate those. Yeah, they have like marquees on the grounds to hold events. So I wish my lawn does look like that at the moment. It's a bit yellow. Don't believe in watering lawns. They go yellow, they go green again, they grow back. So yeah, there's King William's College. They do boarding there, as well as sort of day students. A little bit busier along here than it is usually. Couple more campers. Yeah. That's the chapel over there to the right. Quite a nice chapel. I think over there is the boarding house. The boarders that they do have. And we'll cross over the road, my friend. And we'll have a look at Hango Hill. There we go, Hango Hill. I knew it was Hango, but for some reason in my head I was going, that doesn't sound right. I felt like I'm making that up. But so you could pause the video if you wanted, be able to read that. But Hango Hill, ancient place of execution. Here, William Christian of Ronaldsway, Illiam and Down, to the Manx people, who regarded him as their national champion, was shot on the 2nd of January 1663 for his part in the Manx Rising of 1651 against the Derby family, who held the island for the royalist cause. The ruins are those of a late 17th century summer house known as Mount Strange. There you go. And that's what we're looking at. A bit of stone being held up by a bit of an iron. Just as this gentleman is parked up, I'll move across the road. Lots of good spots like that. I will say, if you're driving, really good places to park up. You can get right on the front of Port Erin, you can get right on the front here at Castletown, Hill, Douglas. So many places you can park right close to the beach. And I know what it's like. I've been to places where it's all like £10 a day, £15 a day to park your car, even way more than that, £20 odd to park your car, but near a beach, and then you've still got to walk quite a distance to get there. Well, not here. Largely it's free. There's a few places that have discs you get for nothing, and that gives you a couple of hours parking. Occasionally less, but usually a couple of hours parking. But yeah, lots of free parking on the island, and some absolutely amazing beaches. I don't know if I'm going to carry on recording this last bit. I guess I can. I was thinking maybe this might not be that interesting, but hey, we'll see. You know what I'm like. It's usually a good sort of 45-minute, hour video of me just walking and chatting. So that's what you get every time. Very little editing. I had a couple of people say, well, no, not even a couple of people. I've had maybe one person who's complained that I don't need to record every blade of grass or something. And I know I mentioned that in the last video. I'm not going to go on about it, but it's kind of what I do. This is my thing. Absolutely, if you don't like it, you don't have to watch. Other video creators out there, millions on YouTube. You can be watching. Watch something you enjoy. Easy peasy. These houses are quite nice on the front here. I could handle one of those overlooking the beach here. But I always say, big house to heat though, even terraced. All right. So that's about it really. I was worried because I can't really see on this tiny screen in front of me, but the people across the road might be making rude signs, but we'll see when I get back. But we're kind of done with the walk now. I'll do some, so hopefully do some more recording over the weekend just to pick up some of the action from the pre-TT Manx GP or whatever it is. Manx Classics, something or other. Anyway, the Manx Classic pre-TT on the Southern 100 course. That's fine, something like that. So I'll do some filming. We'll see how we get on. But hard to kind of get some action shots. I know they're popular. I'm not trying to be popular on YouTube, so I'm not going to take loads of really fast videos of motorbikes because it's not really my thing. I'll go and have a look and say hello to a few people, and then that'll be about it. Well, nice little walk. Stretch the legs. Get me some steps in. Beautiful beach. Sea air. Nice coffee. Relax for a bit. And time to head back. So let this car go past. So take care. Oh, another car coming past. So honestly, it's never this busy. This is busy for here anyway. So do my usual, say take care. Take care of yourselves. More importantly, take care of each other. God bless. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.